everybody. Here we are, we snuck outside to bring you Telecaster. This year, let me give you a little history. Fender started in 1946 making lap steel guitars, and really, if you look at the first guitars having one pickup, it really is like a lap steel. It has a bridge cover that goes over it so you can rest your hands and do finger style, and they just converted their really popular lap steels to a Spanish style guitar. This all happened in 1950. Think about what happened in 1950. In 1946, that's about the time Leo opened his radio repair shop. And what he was famous for was really amplifiers. This is a real 50s Vibrolux we just got in. Vibrolux because it does have vibrato. It's a 10-inch speaker. It's all tweed. This one has the original Jensen speaker in the back. It's clean. It's been serviced. And this is a great find. Everybody knew your Fender amp never broke. Back in the 50s, that was the rule of the day. Lots of people played Gibson guitars, but everybody played Fender amplifiers. Even in town here, Buddy Holly, who played his last gig 100 miles, 200 miles south of here, he had a stack of Fender amps that he used for his PA, his bass, his guitar, all of that. So this is something they just came out with. In 1950 came the Broadcaster, and they named it the Broadcaster because broadcasting was getting to be a big thing. Of course, radio was making people heroes in the 40s, and so he named it a Broadcaster until he got this telegram from Western Union, and it was from Gretsch, and it reads like this. This is a copy of the original Western Union telegram. Use of trademark Broadcaster, spelled with a K, on your electric guitar is infringement of our trademark Broadcaster U.S. Patent Office register, and they give the number, in June of 1937. Gretsch had a set of drums called the Broadcasters. They were already ahead of Fender. So now they're making a copy of this Broadcaster, and this is a pretty exacting copy, although the neck is a little bigger than most. Fender seems to think all Fenders back then had big necks, but yeah, they fired all the gray hair guys, so no, that's not true. But this has a little bigger fret, a little easier to bend. It's actually a compound radius, and it has the name Broadcaster on the headstock, which they weren't allowed to use for a long time. This one, you see that logo in the back? That's a custom shop logo. That means this guitar was made by the custom shop. Now, shortly after they did the Broadcaster, they didn't have time to think up another name, so they clipped off the Broadcaster name and they didn't put anything, and they've come to be known as Nocasters. Of course, they didn't call them Nocasters back then because that would have been a dumb name, but they did call these Nocasters. We just happened to get a used custom shop Nocaster, and custom shop means that the magnets are better, the metal is better, the pots are better, the finish is better, everything is going to be better, even the frets, the hand workmanship. You want to look for that on a custom shop. This 51 Nocaster is a copy of the predecessor to the Broadcaster, and this is one sheet ash body. This one happens to be Featherlight, a really cool guitar. And then the reason they make copies is because these vintage guitars just keep going up and up and up. And here's a 1955 Esquire, and that's a real Esquire. That's the original logo. And as you guys know, that's Esquire Telecaster, Esquire Telecaster. Now, all the bodies were cut for a pickup there. They would simply add the pickup, get the extra $10. Yeah, it was 51. So a 55 would not have a black guard. We added this black guard because that's kind of part of the mojo on this. We got this guitar in, we refinished it here at Willie's and put it together. It is an original pickup. When you get into these old pickups, you really get this magnetic structure where the magnet's a little softer and degaussed, and the pickup tends to pick up a lot more sensitivity and detail. So we've got these three in. The Broadcaster is part of a reissue they're going to do this year and this year only. This used Nocaster comes to us from the custom shop as a trade, so that's a used one and you can save some money. And then this, if you really want, is a real a real Telecaster from the 50s. This is not a reissue, this is the real McCoy, and it's got a medium big neck, just like they used to have. It's been refretted, it's been refinished, and the body. Now, for those of you not from here, we had a lot of stuff going on in Minneapolis, and it was pretty crazy. So we're going to turn this way up, let it bounce off the wall over there, and say goodbye for now. But this is our quick video retaining to Telecasters, two of which are really not called Telecaster. By the way, you know why they called it Telecaster? Television. Yeah, right, television. Boom, it was coming. By 1951, television was well on its way to being in every home, and they were ahead of that, and they called it a Telecaster. What do you do?